welcome to the RPS project. Today I've got a fan. This monster of a fan thing. It's a nice big fan. It was working quite well, but over time it's not performed quite as expected. But recently, when we come to use it, it's just not done anything. What happens is you turn it on and the fan just sits there, doesn't turn around, but you can hear it buzzing and humming away there, but doing absolutely nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to have a look inside one of these things. Now supposedly this in here, this bit, is going to be the motor. Now I expect it's going to be just a basic AC motor with two windings, one for the main primary and then a secondary starter winding, and that's what I'm expecting to find in there. So I'm just going to open it up. I'm not going to go into the technical details of a AC motor, single phase motor. I'm just going to open it up and have a look and see what it looks like. Okay, so I've now got my fan here on the workbench, and I'm just going to take off all the big bits so I can actually get down to the motor, because there's lots of stuff on this. If I can get it, can't open up. Get the case off. So it's got my front off, covered in dust. Now this thing, apparently, if I remember rightly, it doesn't turn the normal way. It goes in the opposite direction to what you would normally expect. So turn it clockwise actually undoes it. That's to do with the fan rotation. Obviously, if the fan's turning this way to blow air out at you, you don't want it to undo itself while it's turning. Oh, it's covered in dust, it's filthy. Get that off. I've got another nut. That's all the cage and everything off. And in there's the motor. So what else have we got? I'll take the base bit off. Shall I take the bottom off first and have a quick look under there? Yeah, why not, eh? Oh. I imagine there's just some basic wiring coming here, because the wire, where the wire goes in. I don't know which screws are meant to undo, but I'm just going to undo them all, maybe, I suppose. See what falls off. A number of screws, and as this is an AC motor, I don't expect there to be a great deal inside it, except for an AC motor, really. There's going to be no controller. At the bottom here we're going to have some switches for changing the power rating. I wonder how they've managed that. Two of these screws are a bit different. On the bottom here. Get that one out. Right. All the screws out. There's two on here, that one and this one over here. They're slightly different. They don't have Phillips. They've got some weird sort of location that's designed to stop mugging like me getting in there, but it won't stop me. Just got to go and get an appropriate tool for getting these screws apart off here, and I'll be back in a moment. Right, can't find the appropriate tool for undoing these. Not quite sure how I'd get these undone without it. If I can wonder if we can use a pair of pliers. No, never mind. Anyway, in the bottom there is just some switches, and the wire just comes on in and then runs back out again on another cable running up to the top. So I'm going to get and undo this. 4 screws I've got in here. I'm going to undo and take off the main part of this fan cover at the front, and hopefully that will allow me to get into the actual motor. And then I'll be able to hopefully drag the motor out of its housing and have a look at it. Get a bit more light on this situation. There we go, just a bit better. Oh, what's that one? Right, this one's got some sort of clips on it. That's a bit weird. How does that come off? Ah. They're sort of held in a little bit. Got to do that. Wow. You don't want you getting this off. Not in a hurry. Ah, got that off. And then in there is the motor. I don't know if I've got to take that bit off this door, the little device that allows you to pull it up or down, so there you go. So it's either static or rotating. Well, there we go. Alright, I'm going to do is just focus in on this a bit better so I can see it and see what's happening with it. So here is my motor, and it really is literally it's just a motor unit. A little bit of gearing on the back here. This is so that it makes it move back and forth, rotates, so it blows across the whole room rather than just in your face or at the wall. Quite manky and dirty. On the side here I have the capacitor. Now I imagine that when this thing stops working, because of the way these are designed, which is basically it's a single phase AC motor with a single coil winding, well, say single, it's got a primary winding which is the main winding that's going to do all the work, and then after that there's a secondary winding, but it's just a little winding which is then this capacitor helps to start. So normally it's that capacitor that goes. This is a 1.2 microfarad 450 volt capacitor. Now I doubt very much that I've got anything like that hanging around, because unless you're fixing these type of AC motors or fixing stuff of that type, then the likelihood is you won't have anything quite, and this is specially made. It's in a casing that fits onto here, so yeah, they've put this very specifically for this unit. So I couldn't really replace it. I could, but it'd be flapping about in the breeze in here unless I could find a way to fix it on the side there. Now I could take this casing off. I wonder if I can. But then this is all part of the motor unit. But the wires go into here, let's just take a screw off the back. Let's hold this clip on. This is where the mains AC wire comes in. Yeah, I can't turn that. This is really stiff, and that's the other thing about this. I noticed that it was getting much stiffer, and it's always possible that just the bearing itself is knackered up inside here. Or, well, I say bearing, it's probably going to be the stator and that's in there. Let's see if we can get in this a bit more. That's that clip off. As I get the wire out of the way, the AC, the mains wire coming in. And let's have a look. 2 screws on the back here that I'm going to undo that will hopefully take this mechanical bit off. There's the other one. Alright, yeah, and that literally just fits on there. So there's obviously going to be a worm gear in there. Let's just see if I can get the screw off of this front bit. There's a little bushing on there, the looks of it. Yeah, just a little washer. Put that back in there so I know where it comes from. Would be handy. I'm not going to like to put it back together because I imagine it's fairly had it. Yeah, there in there. There's a worm gear. So obviously this bit being threaded fits onto. Yeah, see if we can open that. Should be able to. Two screws, third one over here, third screw out. Should be able to get the top off. There we go. So yeah, so that top just comes off, and inside you've got a little bit of gearing. So that threaded bar comes through, fits onto the side of this gear. This one then fits onto another gear in here, a black one, which is what makes this turn round. And of course, because this has got that, it's fixed, it'll move like so and make your fan go left and right. So it's very simple gearing there, oily and whatnot. But there you go. That's just the gear mechanism. Very, very simple. And then we're left with just the motor unit. Really, that's pretty much all that's left there. Not sure if I'll be able to get this undone. I'm going to need me thin nose pliers. Okay, so I've now got the screws and bolts out, whatever they are, and that, oh yeah, that housing comes out quite well. Now there's a nut there. I'm not sure if I can get that to come through. I'm not sure how that one's fitted. It's one of them ones that's been put in. It's a little bar here retaining. I imagine it was put in and then sort of crimped in a way that it sort of forced itself open. So knocking that out isn't going to be easy. But if I want to get and see the rest of the casing, so I'll look until I get this back bit off. Oh, here we go. Come on, you bugger. It is slowly teasing itself apart for my delight, but not particularly well. Okay, so I've finally managed to get this removed from its housing. As you can see, we have the main motor, and this is the stator. Now, this is grooved. Can you see that? And inside there, that is not quite sure whether that's a full, just a solid piece, or whether it's more than one piece. You've got some different metal types on there, because this has got like a facing on it, and this literally sits into the windings. So this is the stator, it's going to sit in there, and then as the AC comes round, it's obviously going to make it turn in it's going to make it rotate inside there, which is brilliant, which is what it does, and it just turns around and keeps going. The only thing is, obviously, these bearings have to be really, they're actually bearings in the casing are they have a sort of a bit of movement in them, so obviously it takes up any jiggle that's within the movement as this turns within the windings. Now on here we've got a whole bundle of wires, because we've got the AC mains coming in, which I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 wires that are coming into this, and then I've got these 2 wires which are for the secondary winding, because there will be 2 windings in there, even though I can't quite see the difference between them. But yeah, that's a big bundle of wires. So we've got, as you can see, lots of windings in there, wound round. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's basically what we've got. And this, it goes in there, and as the AC goes positive and negative in its sinusoidal wave, say that again, sinusoidal wave, as AC does, it'll make the motor turn. But obviously when you first start it, it won't do anything. The magnetic, is it magnetic inductance? Basically means that it sort of just sits there and wants to turn, but it can't. So it needs something that's out of phase, which is what this capacitor does with the second winding, to get the thing just sort of started. So as soon as it starts, it gets going, but it wasn't going at all for me, because the thing had just sort of stopped turning. But yeah, that's the guts of a basic AC motor. There's your stator, there's your windings, there's 2 winding, capacitor helps get it started. Big massive core there with lots of laminated steel plates, housing with the bearings in there that help hold it in position, and that's pretty much it, with a bit of gearing on the back to make it turn the fan, go left and right. But other than that, that's it. That's your AC motor. So there you go. That's what you get inside your basic AC fan motor that you get at home. Just your common old garden fan that blows the air around, makes you cool, hopefully, in the hot weather. Unfortunately, it's sort of a bit hot at the moment, and my fan is in bits because some idiot's taken it apart. Well, there you go. What can I say about it? It didn't work anyway, so need to find another one. But yeah, there you go. That's the inside. Got a big coil of wire in a metal casing, and that's how it's constructed. Really very simple. It's just a simple device. Just stator, windings. What more do you want? Does the job normally, and yeah, quite interested. See what's actually how it actually all goes together. Quite like that. Anyway, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Subscribe, and all comments are welcome. See you next time.